have our special guest from Ayush Ministry. I wish to invite them to dais. We are honored by your presence. Dr. Prashant Tiwari to introduce them to the audience, and please share few words.
Namaskar to all. Today we are having from the Ministry of Ayush our guest, Mr. Shiv Mishra ji. He is Under Secretary and he is here for observation of this whole event. We are pleased to have you, sir. And Pradeep ji is also there. He is going to support for this whole event, and they will observe this whole event. And for the whole, to observe this whole event, they came directly from New Delhi. Thank you so much for visiting here, sir. And very, very pleased to have you. Thank you so much.
We at Heartfulness, we are honored by this event approved by Ayush Ministry. Our beloved Master, Reverend Daji, he conveyed his gratitude to the ministry and his blessings. This is your home. We welcome you many more times to visit this place. Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on to the next scientific online session. To introduce our speaker, Dr. Sastry. He is a distinguished Ayurvedic physician, researcher and healthcare leader with over 3 decades of clinical, academic and administrative experience. He is the managing director and co-founder of Swasti Veda Private Limited, Mumbai, and he is also managing partner of Jatas Ayurveda Healthcare Systems LLP and the chief physician at Ayushman Ayurvedic Center, Kakinada. A former CEO of the National Medicinal Plants Board, Government of India, and the former head and of R&D Dabur Limited, Dr. Sastry has made significant contributions to Ayurveda education, drug policy and integrative healthcare. A recipient of multiple national and international awards, including the Charaka International Award, he continues to actively contribute to research, industry, collaborations and evidence-based Ayurvedic practice. We now request you to take over the session, sir.
Constraints, what the opportunity, all those things. So, having a journey into this whole gamut for last 3.5 decades, I thought I should rather stimulate the upcoming generation to take up those activities which are much needed for the future. So, my topic will be in concurrence with what the organizers wanted. The current trends in the Ayurvedic drug development, with a clarity on whether we have on the innovation path or the imitation path. And before that, a sincere effort is made here in this presentation to quote only appropriate examples for the existing products in the market, depicting the current trends and the drug development, what is happening in this country. And this presentation has some products with company names also, but there is no intention to highlight anyone or to criticize any other. This is just to mention about this thing, and there is no clear intention or false intention. Just take it with the scientific acumen perspective. So when you look at the drug development, as you all are aware, we start with the discovery, whether it's a molecule, mostly it will not be considered as a traditional medicine or Ayurvedic product or Siddha product. So mostly it's the formulation, most of the times what we are looking at max with a concentrated extract with an identified marker is what your discovery part totality is there. Then the preclinical research, clinical research, and then the clinical trials, and then regulatory review, and then the launch of this product. That's how we know about the drug development. So these are the five drug development phases. When you ask the AI or the chat GPT, this is what you get, even if you have no clue about it. So it's all known. Okay. So can we have a brief review of what is there in the Ayurveda system? Number of formulations per entity, if you look at what is happening today, the classical formulations in the Ayurvedic formulary of India are about 985 only. But the companies are there which are more than 9,000. Among them, roughly about 7,500 companies are operational. There are MSMEs and having about 25, 30 lakhs kind of a turnover per annum. But if you look at the licenses they've obtained, it starts from 100 to 500 classical formulations because getting a classical formulation is a single line approval. You mentioned on a page what are all the classical formulations for which you require a license. And if you quote AFI, you get 985 formulation license in a 1500 square feet area. Sorry for the this thing, but that's the rule what it's saying. And you will get a minimum of 10 to 50 proprietary medicines. So when I was partly working as the drug policy section in charge, I made a proposal and I prepared a draft note also. I don't know where it is right now. I said those MSMEs should not be allowed to go for more than four formats and two formulations each, and then only the standards will prevail. Otherwise, what happens taking 100, 150 licenses, and what kind of infrastructure they will have and what kind of standards they will bring in. So, we with concerted effort are trying to restrict the growth of our own traditional medicine. So, everybody from industry and academia have to focus on this, and they have to have the self discipline for themselves. So there are about less than 750 varieties is my careful review from the market. And I found about 700 and max 750 varieties of classical formulations available in the market. And to my surprise, more than 250 formulations out of this will be manufactured either once in 2 years or once in 3 years. So that's the kind of demand we have on the classical formulations. Even if we assume that some formulations are missing, the total number will be definitely less than 1,000 when it comes to classical formulations. But when you look at the proprietary formulations, as we estimate, there will be 2.5 lakh proprietary formulations available in the market, and this goes from the above data, which has been published on various occasions, either by the authorities or by the officers working in various institutes or the organizations and institutes. Okay. So, even if you take 50 products versus about 5,000 companies, the formulations of proprietary will be more than 2.5 lakhs. And these proprietary medicines are also more than 100 per entity in most of the cases. So, among these uh, proprietary formulations also, the known brands will be limited to 15 companies. And to my actual enumeration, 35, 36 companies have come. And I might have missed during my assessment, so about 50 companies with a number of 50 products. So altogether, the known brands will be around 2,500. That is total 10% of the total products what are manufactured by these 5,000 companies which have obtained more than 50 licenses of proprietary medicines. So the classical and proprietary formulation assessment, we need not have exact numbers. The assessment is also the guesstimate or estimate for our present discussion is definitely sufficient. How many companies have R&D? When I reviewed it, fully functional facilities are less than 50 companies. Out of these 9,000 have on-paper R&D facility. It is again an interesting thing, on-paper. So when you actually visit, you don't find R&D there. So when they come to the physician, they say they have R&D, but when you visit their facility, they don't have R&D. That's kind of, I say this is a paper R&D facility. like the institutes having the staff. Second thing, number of R&D facilities, no R&D facilities, more than 7,500 fully functional companies. And majority of them have no clue what is R&D is all about. If you ask about the 5 stages of drug development, they cannot give you any answer for that particular question. So with this kind of an infrastructure or a background, we will be talking about the Ayurveda drug development. I'm not touching other systems because I'm not representing them. But experts can extrapolate this kind of information at a model to understand where from we have to start. If you look at the previous trends of drug development, there are two portions. There were innovations and there were imitations. Okay. The imitations are also there in the classical Ayurveda literature. There is no exception and there is nothing wrong about it. Okay. So somebody prepared Ananda Bhairavaras and the other practitioner prepared Mrityunjayaras and the third one parted Tribhuvana Kirtiras. With one ingredient different, they are all same. Gugulu preparations, and many more. In the Chandra Prabhati, we have 23 different formulations. Patala Liquor, we have 47 different formulations in Bharati Vaishadar Nakara. Chavanapras, you have 13 different formulations among the 52 texts. So I have done a lot of work on data, and we are trying to build up a digital platform with all this information, and shortly you'll come to know under the name ayurvedaauthentica.com. So the imitations again, they're also not bad. Okay, I may sound bad. My intention is not to sound or criticize anybody. It is to just mention you that what were the trends and what are the trends. Okay, before coming to the current trends, I want to say what were the previous trends. So imitation of the classical formulation or imitating the competitive formulation. So innovative formats are the formulations are always there. Look at the innovations made by the pharmaceutical industry. Many times we criticize Ayush industry that they have not done much contribution. No, it is wrong. If at all any R&D, especially D is done, it is only industry. I want to say this vociferously. Less than 1% has come from governmental organizations when it comes to D. India, apart from DRDO, never wanted any R&D. They wanted only R, ICMR, CCRAS, CCRS, CCRUM. So we always have R. We end our activity with R, where we get a PhD, where we get a job, where we get a promotion, where we get an increment. So our intentions are little different. When it comes to other countries, they end their research with a developmental activity, and that's how they are all having multiple products. The Chinese system of medicine is the best example. Each company have mastered on one herb. Many companies are there within twice in this country. I got amazed. Even a country like a small country like Mongolia, they have one company which has a set of Shilajit drinks. Okay. So that's the kind of commitment, even what we need, but not to downsize our companies are. So look at the rich history what we have. I'm trying to put it before you. For the first time, soft gel capsules have been brought in. If you look at Pudina Hara, maybe under the 3H category, this is first. And when somebody manufactured Sherbala, it is a 3A class drug. Wedge caps have been introduced. Nasal sprays have been introduced. And during COVID, this was a challenge. I was part of the committee which approved the nasal sprays. And nasal spray is a format approved for Ayush now. Sugar-free syrups, entry-coated pills, pain sprays, balms, freeze-dried powders, film-coated tablets, sugar-coated tablets, granules, okay, and CO2 extract-based several formulations. So supercritical extracts have been used and being used by companies, either for export or the domestic use. Then, if you just look at the formulations also, look at a small formulation in the market which admired me always, Hajmola. A 50-55% salt product has become I benchmark digestive formulation. That's wonderful. A product like V52, it has crossed the barriers. It made the allopathic practitioner to prescribe and stood as number one product for several decades. And look at Septilin. And what V52 did, it brought in Chicoria intibus, which was less known in Ayurveda and more known in Unani, into limelight. Septilin, it has become a definition for our prescriptions for allergies and antibiotic requirements and Ayurveda science. A simple product like Nerosin, which is simple Philanthus umbilica based, but it's revolutionized. A single product and it is doing wonders. Look at Fenfuro based on the fenugreek and this extract based capsule has crossed the barriers and it travels to various countries today. And this company survives with one product. Look at Amtotone, the Ashoka-based syrup, which has created reverberations everywhere. Look at a classical formula like Chyawanprash, which has brought in several variants. And look at Sona Chandi Chyawanprash. Oh, it is not in market today, but it has created a lot of vibrations. And look at a recent KSM 66, which is Ashwagandha, recently concluded second global summit of WHO, highlighted Ashwagandha, and the reason behind it is KSM. Okay, now the imitation, when we talk about imitations, the classical formulations imitations are also plenty. I just quote one example, which strikes to my mind always and I admire. Look at a company branding Chyawanprash as Chyawanprash. That's the beauty. They have not branded Chyawanprash in a different name. There are companies which have branded Chyawanprash in different names and perished. Whereas a company branded Chyawanprash and made other companies to follow, and today the major varieties which are available in the market for Chyawanprash are more than 60 varieties. Okay, just I try to bring in some of them for your understanding. So imitations also sometimes has given business. That's the point I wanted to tell you. Okay. Then the imitative formats and formulations are also very important from classical literature. If you look at the classical formulations, I was mentioning about one example, but there are plenty of other aspects also. Vati Gutika, today you see Kafkola, Kantila, and all those things. Avaleha, Ratnaprash, Chana, Chandi, many. Quadha, your cardiolum plus syrup in our area in the South India for protecting the cardiovascular endothelium. It is a big success. And Fanta, all your tea formats are Fanta based. And your churna, Kayam churna or Pachal churna, they're all churna based. And your Panaka, all syrups today like Nannari or rose syrups are all based on your ancient format. Bhasma, today though it is mentioned in 19th century Ayurveda books, but these are the lateral developments. Therefore, Bhasma of Kukutanda or Mayur Picha are the additions to the classical. Asavaristas. Today, if you look at Panchasava or Pancharista, these are the imitations, but they have given a new business origin for the industry. Arka, your gripe waters are all based on Arka only. And Pudina Arka, Pudina itself was not there in the original Ayurvedic text and was brought in later into Nigantu Ratnakara or Saligram Nigantu. Okay. So, you have Sura preparations or alcohol preparations, you have Matsanjeevan in the market and Restaurant in the market and many more. So, similarly, if you look at formulations, I'm talking about format as well as formulations because the young generation who are there, you are going to be torchbearers for us for the research and the drug development. You should understand what was the trend, what is the current trend, and what gives you the benchmark status or what makes you different from others. I don't comment on any make any comment on people who have done the imitative formulations or innovative formulations. Both are opportunities. Please remember this. Now you will be me too only. That's the only difference. If you imitate, if you are innovative, you are standalone. Tomorrow people may follow you, but your name will be there. Today we talk about liver as number one when it comes to liver. Today, you don't get any name for a HEPA and live for a registration. That's the kind of umbrella brands we have got because of one product which has revolutionized the segment of liver diseases. So coming to the formulations, in gold, you have Trishul and cold care and kind of products. For cough, you have Coughlite and knockoff, Spasma, and many more. For joint conditions, Cervalon, Lomagon, Romatil, Romastol, many more. And UTI, you have K4, Cystone, Needy, whatnot. Skin, Soribin, pigment, Tickleton, many more. Headache, Cefagrain, Migex, something. And on gut, just let us forget about, you don't get any name left which is not associated with the gut health. So Gasex, Amlicure, Gastrona, so many things. And fat control, Medonil, Lepistat, many more. For heart, your arginine from one of the old companies, Larsen, and latest Havana from Himalaya, and so many things. And gynae again, there is no limit. And there is no gynecologist you find who has not prescribed an Ayurvedic gynae formulation in her practice or his practice. At least I have seen recently leading practitioners of gynecology are looking at some or other alternatives, and there is no limitation now. They are just advising them on a different label, and they're asking them to consume these products. That's the real heartening thing for us. So imitating a proprietary formulation is something what smaller companies usually does. Like I just quote one example because this has always attracted mine, and I followed this formulation and admired this formulation, not for its efficacy or anything, the buzz it created around respiratory allergies. Prior to this product, industry's focus on respiratory allergies was different. And after this product, Pankaj Kasturi, look at major companies coming out with this kind of a format, in the form of granules. So many things have come out. That's the beauty of one format stimulating many more. And thanks to the innovator of this particular format and formulation, which has given birth to many formulations as well as umbrella in the same format. So the current trends are what we need to understand. Okay, now friends, it is the youngsters who are into their final year of BMS or the first year of MD Ayurveda. Please, I have given the picture what has happened till now. Going forward, innovations will be encouraged and imitations will be discouraged because the market is flooded with the formulations what I have already mentioned. As on March 31st, 2013, about 523 patent applications related to Ayurvedic medicine were filed by the Indian entities and 93 patents were granted. Another 86 applications filed by foreign entities are also pending, and there are about 26 patents granted. Okay, if you look at the most recent TKDL information, globally the TKDL has helped to stop hundreds of applications of IPR where they are trying to snatch the Indian traditional medicine knowledge and make patents. About the 370 plus applications have been obstructed by TKDL, and thanks to TKDL for that. Now, if you look at the imitations which are discouraged, I would like to give the idea. As on 17th March, not 29, 23, it's 2023, a total of 4,48,764 ISM formulations, okay, have been transcribed into TKDL. Okay. Now, even if you imitate, this is going to be caught. Earlier it was not there, and TKDL is going to open its license, are going to give an access to its library to the industry. Already a method has been given, and wider discussions are happening. I am also part of the deliberations last month, and we are trying to come out with a proper solution without what you call proliferating this information to the unwanted people. So any company, just by looking at the library, can catch hold of people who try to imitate. So the imitation time is going to end. Therefore, all the companies need to. Your existing licenses may not have any threat, but the upcoming licenses will be a problem. So this is the time where we need to open our eyes and look at real innovations. And the innovations are the drivers. Very few companies are having the innovation policy ready for them. And in India, I did not come across even one Ayush company which proudly says it has its innovation policy with them. See, if you don't have innovation policy, your future is just like any pretty ordinary third-rated MSME. Okay, so we need to understand this. That's the crux what I have with me, and based on TKDL evidences, so 283 formulations, and this is the latest information, have been either refused or amended or withdrawn, abandoned with the help of TKDL support by the Indian Patent Office. So I would like to draw your attention towards the innovative intermediates also. Look at ashwagandha extract patented in the name of KSM 66. Yesterday I was at Vijayawada where I was debating, and a person who was associated with this process was saying that it has touched almost 2,000 crores now. And few years back, I thought it's about 1,000 crore brand. But the intermediate is having more than 1,000 crores business, and one single herb ashwagandha is a great achievement. And to have a separate line in the HS code for you, the minimum requirement of the foreign trade or export is 100 crores. So yeah, maybe ashwagandha can get a separate HS code line for it itself if we all try. And the Ayush Export Council should also look at it. And apart from that, you all know piperine, curcumin. We have registered, of course, the natural energy, which is a shilajit-based intermediate, and we participate in supply side west, and we have a company which is seeking about 100 metric tons a year. So Cassia Fistula Extract, another company from Bombay, and they have extensive work in Arogya. It is there in the text, but none of us use it as a product. And as a intermediate, they got again an order from Logical Square, and they are going to supply about 50 metric tons or so, as what I heard. And Salix caprea extract. In India, one or two pharmacies use this, as I understand, but it has huge demand in Europe, and we have Indian English willow Salix caprea, Salix alba is also available. 10% salicin standardized extracts are only available in India, but globally 25% salicin extracts are also available. Your natural menthol is another thing, senaglycosides, colchicine coming from your langali, cannabis oil as a stigma. Today, nobody wants to talk about cannabis. Cannabis is like an abusive word. It's not. Friends, it's a cancer pain solution. And with a drop of this oil, you get the relief from the pain. Okay. So that is something which will really help you. And glyceric acid, which is multiple applications, nano gold, nano silver, gathria oil, bosphoric acid, vincristine, and elastin coming from this, and black taxol coming. So I'm touching the other economic uses of these intermediates, and your goody sattu itself is an intermediate, as what we have never realized, and chalmogra oil is another intermediate. So just I was mentioning about it, and I want to show you, and the kind of success this young boy got, and KSM is amazing. And we have innovative products also, not only the intermediates. If you look at classicals today, Shedbindu Thaila and Anthaila have nasal presenting in nasal spray. Sarupathagara developed in the tablet form with DT predetermined. Because we are using the new technologies for this. Guada and the Gana tablets again, we have Aswaristas going to come into granules. You have emulsion based oils. You have like Estimadu with milk granules is something you will always say Kshirene Esti and you don't know how to actually make a format with innovation. Okay, so if you have a milk powder and estimable granules and make it as a combined granule, you will have the classical formulation in a new format. Okay, use of bioenhancers for your efficacy enhancement and using nanotechnology for reducing the doses and improving the biological activity and reducing these safety concerns and increasing the efficacy concerns. So the proprietary formulations, there are different products where you have active principle rich formulations like your curcumin certain percent, or you have isolated compound form curcumin alone. Okay, you have aromatic oil formulations, you have sustained release formulations. In Ayurveda also we have sustained release formulations. That's the beauty. And transdermal patches, a company like Sparsh from Hyderabad, they are doing a lot of efforts on developing the Ayurveda-based transdermal patches. They have intricate, intricate formulations which will really help in IBS. Okay, why we have not come with a specific solution for the IBS? Why the peppermint oil, if it is mixed with starch, made into small pellets and kept it in a capsule, and the capsule is entry coated, it goes beyond the stomach and it releases there, and people are making money. And this menthol or mentha is yours, but you have not done the innovation. We are trying imitations. If somebody is making a pudin hara, what we should make, okay? And we are making brands imitating the package and the product. We are not looking at the innovation. Therefore, the other people who have a similar thought process but a different approach are making huge money. Bioenhancers in formulations like in Sukshma Ayurveda concept from Pune, people have added piperine to enhance the product efficacy and nanotechnology formulations. Even in Chennai, please visit this place in the Tiruvayur with nano silver activity is going on, and this company is number one in the country in nano, and the licenses what they hold for nano silver and nano gold are Ayurveda licenses. How many of us know about it? Okay, so the current drug research, the crude drug authentication, qualitative methods, then quality methods, and then process validations, so modern dosage forms, new herbal combinations, the process transfer or the technology transfer, what we call it as, and safety efficacy evaluation and product dosage preparation, and then go for the market authorization or the registration. So your trust areas already mentioned, I repeating it, off-label indications, classical formulations, like osteopenia is a off-label indication for me, for Shankar Bhashma. Dabur has a patent on that, and they have introduced a product into the market that's going to be a 42% higher calcium absorption is possible. I remember the product as Calab. So that's the real innovation. They have another license, patent application or granulation of Asawari PK studies. Even when we were sending ashwagandha to tropical school of School of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene in London sometime back for Corona, a company has provided us the blood-brain barrier studies, which have prompted the UK authorities to accept the PK studies, and they've accepted ashwagandha as a drug. And fortunately, British Pharmacopoeia possesses Withania somnifera as one of the monographs there, and therefore is a It has a drug status in UK. How many of us know about it? The drug-drug interactions, cytochrome analysis. We have done a lot of cytochrome. The previous speaker was also speaking about it. But we have done plenty of cytochrome analysis. That to our surprise, many of our drugs, whether your rasaushadis or kastaushadis, have not interfered with the drug-drug interactions. Very, very limited. Okay, and that is a separate topic. We have done more than 100, therefore we can discuss separately. So safety efficacy, the complex chemistry is to be understood, and then basis that you have to actually look at the safety efficacy studies. The preclinical studies have in vivo and in vitro, and clinical studies have pre-marketing and post-marketing. So I just touch the kind of innovative things what at least the Ayush has done during the COVID time when the antiviral activity of Britannia is to be tested. We have used the hamster model, and the observations are significant and statistically highly significant. And we have done the cytokine studies, and we have done NK cell activity, whatnot. We have done a series of activities and found that this particular Ashwagandha, when you have studied, due to paucity of time, just I'll skip some of these things. The presentation will be available for the organizers, and you can take it from them. So, in vitro studies, and this is an in vitro assay. We have identified this on cell lines, and the TNF alpha activity and IFN activity, all these things have been established, and IL-6 has been studied. Okay, so these assays are going to give you the leads. And similarly, an experimental protocol, you can have a wonderful model for antidiabetic activity, like the previous speaker talked about gymnamic acids. See, the most important thing is Gymnema sylvestri was never used in Ayurveda in combination. I have not seen even one formulation. If anybody has, please tell me. I definitely give at least a 10 lakhs cash price to you, but it should come from classical Ayurvedic text. Okay, not 18th century and 19th century text. Okay, so we have started adding it without understanding the polarity of these gymnamic acids. And if you mix gymnamic acid with any other formulation, the efficacy of the formulation will come down. Like the Ayush 82, which we have taken in our previous organization and when we studied, if you combine this gymnamic sylvestri with any other herb, it nullifies its effect and it gets nullified also. The biological activity is reduced by half, and if you use it as an individual extract along with the other ingredients without mixing them and extracting, that is a extracts as compound and extracts as mixture is another big topic. Without knowing that, what will happen to the process? You take all 5, 6 items and just extract it and use it. Never do it. If you have some herbs in your mind, take them separately as extracts and mix. They will have 90% of the cases, they will have enhanced activity, and 90% of the times, if you mix them and extract, their biological activity get reduced, and you take to any place in the world, I'll prove my point because I have done enough mistakes like this. Okay. So the PK studies we have discussed, there are a lot of models for PK studies also. Just I want to just conclude in the next 3, 4 minutes by giving a discussion to you. The current trends in R&D, you should understand, and you should finalize your direction. Okay, research one direction and development one direction is the current problem. You should. The reason for that is all the institutes ends with research. That's the major problem. I have one exception, which is the 10th item DR. So the need of hour is applied research, innovative initiatives, new dosage forms, technological innovations, and development-oriented research, not research-oriented development. Okay, we have a set of identified priorities. Okay, where today WHO has mentioned 10 conditions as common lifestyle disorders or non-communicable diseases, and for which you have a lot of guidelines from WHO. You have traditional medicine research methods, and you have evidence-based complementary alternative method related approaches published, scientific validation methods published. Okay, so I wish to say only one thing. While the innovations in Ayurveda are limited, the imitations are unlimited. Ayurvedic drug development needs support of the in silico studies and molecular docking. While innovations lead to expansion of the business, innovations will reduce the opportunities. Thank you, one and all, and especially I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. And again, apologize. It may be may not be my mistake, but I missed out, especially when Dr. Cholan invited me. This is the first time I missed out, so my apologies to Dr. Cholan and his team members. But I congratulate you and I wish the grand success for the event, what you are organizing. And I will take note from my friends who are there and all the best. Thank you. Thank you once again.
We sincerely thank Dr. Jayarooba sir for a scholarly and insightful presentation. I now take this opportunity to warmly welcome our esteemed chairperson for the session, Dr. Roshni KP, and invite her to share her valuable insights on the world's wisdom and on this topic.
Sri Dhanandariya Namaha. A warm good morning to all the dignitaries present here. Today's resource person, Dr. Jayarooba sir, he is a pioneer in the field of Ayurveda and he is an expert scientist in the field of Dravya Guna Vijnana, as we all know. So, sir, in his presentation, he has scientifically explained. He started his presentation with 5 drug development phases, in which he has explained different classical formulations which come under proprietary formulations and classical category under different pharmaceutical companies. And he briefly explained the R&D innovations happening for different manufacturing companies, how many companies are having real R&D facility, etc. Then he explained the previous trends in research fields, like which come under 2 categories, innovations and imitations, which again he explained under formats and formulations, where he beautifully explained with examples of Chyavanprash and all, where 60 companies are preparing and which actually have the real ingredients and all. Then he explained the advantages of patent applications and how many applications are really encouraged by Ayush and how many are discouraged also. Then advantages of proprietary medicines and classical preparations with so many examples sir has explained. And current drug research methods, how different experimental trials have been happening for anti-diabetic activity and all. So, and he concluded his scientific session with the need of more research activities and trials in different fields of Ayurveda. So, really, sir's presentation is an eye-opener for all the people or students who are working, who want to work in research and development field, and also those who are doing post-graduation in Rasashastra and Bhaishya Kalpana. Really thankful to you, sir, for this presentation. And I also thank the organizers for giving me to chair this wonderful session. Thank you once again.
To express our heartfelt gratitude for such warm words, I cordially invite our dignitaries on the stage, Dr. Veronique Nicolai ma'am and Dr. Shivakumar sir, to kindly felicitate our esteemed speaker, Dr. Roshni KP, and present the certificate and memento.